All right, guys. So I actually watch these videos in real time. I don't even preview these. I just get my commentary as it comes along. That's why sometimes it may be a little off, and then sometimes it may be right on. But Fox Business Alert: why Joe Biden is not going to win re-election. Let's see their thoughts.
Steve Forbes, Steve, this train wreck of an interview on CNN where this stuff about Israel came out, Biden is being called out of touch. Steve, also in that interview.
Biden's out of touch. 82 years old, I think, and he's still pooping in his diapers, unfortunately. I mean, really, this is the best that the Democrats can put up against Trump. I mean, couldn't even give us somebody competent. God bless Joe Biden, but he can't, unless he has a teleprompter, he can't string two words together.
Biden tried to topspin his record 19% inflation, saying, quote, Americans have the money to spend. Aren't grocery prices up 30% on his watch? And in the battleground state of Wisconsin, up double digits where he gave.
Really, I mean, it's going to be subject if you watch some other reports as well, too. This lady's right on spot. The inflation is much higher because the government is cherry picking on the report which ones to include, which ones not to include. So the ones that haven't gone up that high, they're going to include those, and the ones that have skyrocketed, they're not going to include those in reports.
Gave that interview?
Just because you said shows how out of touch he is. And he tries to make people believe the inflation rate was high when he took office. It was
20% anyway. I mean, how are you going to spend 20% inflation?
1.5%. It reached a peak of 9%. And if you include interest payments, which people have to make on mortgages, on car purchases, on credit card borrowings, the real price of
credit card borrowings, that's been 30% for the past 20 years.
Cost of living went up 18% and is still going up at a 7 or 8% rate today. That's why his ratings on the economy are in the tank. And every time he makes these crazy statements, people realize he is really losing it. And that's why he's going to lose the election, and he could even lose the nomination as he continues to deteriorate along with the economy.
So, Steve, let's watch what happened in that interview. And then we want to get your reaction to a small business owner in Wisconsin. Watch this.
Yeah, if you're going to get a small business owner, they're going to be totally against the narrative because these huge companies are going to be able to withstand the impact of this high inflation. Small and pop little places, they're going to be, they're closing down left and right next to 99-cent only store and Office Depot as well, too.
Grocery prices are up 30%. That's a real day-to-day pain that people feel.
And it's real. But the fact is that if you take a look at what the people have, they have the money to spend.
Voters, by a wide margin, trust Trump more on the economy. They say that in polls. With less than 6 months to go to Election Day.
Still got 6 more months.
Are you worried that you're running out of time to turn that around?
We've already turned it around. Look at the Michigan survey. For 65% of American people think they're in good shape economically. The polling data has been wrong all along.
Okay, what about the other 35%? I mean, Biden, you're getting close to half here. Okay, you're going 65% versus 35%. What was it probably 5 years ago?
It's just a lot more challenges for any business owner these days.
Yeah, everything costs more. I feel like it was easier for me 4 years ago.
I think he's making a terrible mistake. It may not be, if he doesn't win this race, it may not be Donald Trump that beats him. It may be his own pride.
He beat himself.
It may be his own pride. That was David Axelrod.
He beats himself.
He's denying political reality, economic reality in the polls. It's Quinnipiac, it's Pew, it's Gallup, it's Monmouth, it's Emerson, it's Harvard-Harris. It's a slew of polls showing that he is tumbling down into the 30s.
Let's take a look at this. Majority disapprove of Biden. Okay, so we have an approval rating of highest in BC of 42%. Not even half. I mean, you're literally getting only 42% from one of your pushers, and CNN's over here at 41%. ABC, who Disney owns, 35%.
in approval rating.
Disney owns a lot as well, too. You know what I'm saying?
Steve, this is at record lows where incumbents typically lose. I mean, Speaker Johnson is calling Biden's gaffes senior moments. I mean, Biden claimed inflation was 9% when he came into office. It was a quarter of that, less than 1.5%.
Well, that's what is really going to sink him. He goes out. He's not using Bidenomics anymore. They finally convinced him that was not working.
Well, at least he listened. Finally came to the truth about something.
Because every time people go buy something, every time a bill comes in, every time you try to rent an apartment, every time you try to get a mortgage, every time you try to do any economic activity, you realize things are worse off than 4 years ago. And they're making it worse with regulations.
Are these real? His uncle was eaten by cannibals. But this is Biden's latest whoppers. Arrested during civil rights march. Claims Japan xenophobic for not allowing in illegal immigrants. What's Chicago and New York saying about illegal immigrants right now?
Not letting you buy cars, traditional cars. They want to do away with that. So everything this administration is doing, whether it's a better quality of life, like air conditioners that work, or washing machines that work, dishwashers that work.
Is this what we're really coming down to on Bidenomics, is that we need air conditioning and washers to work?
They're against putting on crazy regulations. Prices are going up, and businesses are not making the investment needed for a higher standard of living in the future. So there are real headwinds out there, and this guy's oblivious to it, sitting in his shelter, basement, or whatever it is. And the American people sense it, and that's why he's going to lose, and that's why he has these terrible ratings. Things are not good, Joe.
The economy, is it in stagflation? I mean, the last read, 1.6%. There's a long list of Biden's failures. It's the economy, inflation, U.S. energy, Afghanistan, Iran, Israel, his border collapse. You wouldn't be surprised.
This is a classic case of perception as reality, because out of touch, people around the world, all 8 billion of us, are going to have different views. The one that we see is going to be our reality, and we won't be able to understand some other views as well, too. I mean, it just happens, but really, AC and washers.
Of people have PTSD from under this White House.
Well, the fact of the matter is, everything he touches turns to you-know-what, starting with the Afghanistan withdrawal, which showed Putin that he thought he could get away with by invading Ukraine. You know that the Chinese are watching what we're doing with Israel. I think it was.
I'm not too worried about the Chinese right now. I mean, they have a reverse triangle right now where they have less people that, young people that are able to work, and then they have this huge gap up on top where the elderly are sitting around. Basically they want to be taken care of because they already put their work in. So you have a reverse triangle like this where there's a whole bunch of old people and not enough young people to help support their financial situation. It's kind of like the Social Security right now, where it's going to become insolvent. Insolvent means that there's not going to be enough money, so we're going to have to start cutting this and back as well too. I mean, really, it's just coming down to a whole bunch of different factors. Not too worried about China.
Henry Kissinger once said, it's bad to be an enemy of the United States, but sometimes worse to be an ally. And the Israelis are finding that out today at their moment of need, existential threat. This guy wants to pull the rug out from under him and help the terrorists, a terrorist invasion. He's helping these people. It just is bizarre, craven, cowardly, and profoundly wrong.
A final word, Steve. What do you make of him saying the White House wanted to delay the announcement it was stopping weapons shipments to a multi-generational U.S. ally, Israel, by the way, which is surrounded by 450 million people in 22 Arab nations. Israel is a population of 10 million. So what do you make of,
Yeah, those 10 million have lasted a long time, too. Wonder where their source of power comes from.
Basically, him saying that, I'm not going to tell the American people I'm delaying the weapons shipments to Israel until after I make a Holocaust remembrance speech, as if that was going to paper over the problem.
He's trying to do it both ways instead of having the courage, like a Franklin Roosevelt, who took tough steps to prepare America for World War II, and other presidents who made tough decisions like Lincoln. And that's what leadership is about. And then he never explains to the American people what's at stake in Ukraine, Israel, and elsewhere. That's
Speaking of Lincoln, I wonder what our founding fathers would say if they saw America, what they fought so hard for. You know, we're tired of your taxes. We're going to dump this tea into the ocean. You know, Boston Tea Party. I mean, what would our founding fathers say? The America that they tried so hard and gave their lives for, and now we have, oh, you could be a boy or a girl. You can pick whatever you want.
why he's floundering. The American people are disgusted with him.
Got it. Steve Forbes, thanks for joining us. We appreciate you.
So there we have it. What's your opinion? Like, share, and subscribe. Thank you.